Hey YouTube, how you doing today? This one video is going to be about putting the front fascia of a 2015 Chevy Trax back on to the front of the car. And basically I'm going to show you the ins and outs, and in particular I wanted to show you a couple little repair tricks that I use on these bumpers. If you're not really concerned about perfect A1 dynamite cosmetics, this will work for you. If you want perfection, then just go buy a new bumper if your bumper gets damaged. But if you don't mind a little fix-up project, go ahead and do what I'm about to show you here. On this particular car, it had been hit. It hit something like about right here, and you can see on the front it had taken a hit on this lower chin bar, but it didn't damage this. It just pushed the bumper into it. Well, the chin bar, I've replaced this bottom. There's a bottom piece and a top piece, and I put a new bottom piece on because there was a pretty big chunk that was torn up here that I couldn't fix. But this right here, and this right here, and here, and a couple spots there and there were ripped. This particular spot, it was like totally separated, big time, and it was ripped here, coming loose, and torn down through here. And what I did was I took my credit cards, or gift cards, the old gift cards, the credit cards I've had, and used those as reinforcement for the repair job on this. And what I've done is I can show you on the back side. I had big vice grips, C-clamps. They're like 10-inch clamp things, like that could pinch from this side all the way over to this side. And as you can see, I've cut credit cards out here and here, and I use this board to really give it a good press, because the clamps, they clamp all the way over here, and then they come over here. I could show you, I'll do a picture of it, the clamping process. I'll throw a couple photographs in. But that right here is where that rip was, where it hit the edge of the reinforcing bar. And I put wood on this side, and I left the wood here because you're not going to see it anyway. It just adds to the reinforcement. And I clamped it with these credit cards in place. And the same way with here, that rip that was here, it was ripped from here down into the opening of the fog light pocket. And this was ripped here, and I replaced this section here with an old Chili's gift card. And when they took the bottom, this new piece that I bought, when I removed it from the car, for whatever reason, I think they didn't want to take the bolts out, so they literally just ripped it off the car, which ripped, this is what it's supposed to look like right here, but they literally ripped all these mounting holes open. Here, all these, and it broke it here. And I've taken once again, I've taken my credit cards and cut slots so they fit perfectly into where the old mounting point was, and mounted up the clips after I glued them with my trusty go-to. This is my go-to repair, is my goop. I use this all the time on these repairs. It works really well. Also, this lower piece, these vertical plastic deals were broken away from the bottom. It all is like, you can see it real close here. It's just there, and there. Well, the bottom piece, this was broken, that was broken, that was broken, that was broken. I got like a 10-penny nail, or I don't know, a nail with a head, and put my goop in here and oozed it in there with clamps, clamped it here and here. And the head served as a contact point to keep the thing steady against that, and that worked on that. These skinnier ones, I just cut credit cards thin enough and glued it to the back, clamped them here, clamped them down there once it was glued or positioned, and that's holding these center ones in. And as you can see, it doesn't look that pretty on the back side, but when you go to the front, you really can't see. I mean, you can tell if you look real close, but who's going to get on their hands and knees and look? You know, those are, that way it's secure and it's not going to flop, break away any further than what it was. So what I'll do here now is I'll mount this thing up on the front of the car and show you any little fine points of interest that you might want to know about if you ever have to take one of these things off and put it back on. One thing I might say is, if you ever have a front bumper like this, and you say the grill was broken, or a fog light was broken, or emblem, take the bumper off and fix it. You're not gonna repair these the grill, fog lights, or any of these things that attach to the outside. Those, the fog light covers, all those things are, to get those off, you're going to break tabs and ruin a lot of stuff if you try to take them off without taking the bumper off. So just save yourself a lot of grief, and if you have to replace any of those things, go ahead and take the bumper off to get to those components that I just mentioned. With that, I'll move on to the assembly of the bumper onto the car. Just to give you points of interest here, the mounting point tabs, these hold the side, these little tab things here. Those hold the go into the little slots that are right here. They snap into those slots, and the rest of it, let me see here. Oh yeah! And the rest of it, let me get. And the rest of it mounts right along here with these bolts here. A screw there, and the bottom, all these screw points here that I had to fix with my credit cards on the bottom of the front fascia goes right there. And then these, I'll clip this, and these pop in once the bumper is on. Then this can get snapped onto the bumper. on, and off camera I tightened all the bolts up, put all the trim bolts in. I can point these out to you right now, so you can see what exactly has to be done to bolt the bumper onto the car. There's one screw up here. If you pull that away, see that area right there by the end of my finger? There's a, right behind this, there's a screw that bolts right through there, and the trim is on there, but it's right there. Maybe you can see it. And then once that's in, you can put these screws in, and then this trim snaps in with little clips. As you can see, I've got a gap here, and that is supposed to snap into the plastic piece that's attached to the fender, and for whatever reason it's not snapping in, and they have to look at that again and see what's going on. But back to the bolts. There's more bolts down here. You've got here, there, a bolt, a screw there, a screw there, and like I said, you've got this one, that one, and it goes on the other side identical to that, and that is, those were the at the bottom of the bumper. That's where at the beginning of this I showed you where I had repaired the plastic and where the clips went for those, and that's where those bolts go. Those bolts go through there, and it attaches this onto the very bottom of the car, and the shroud on the bottom. So I hope that this has helped any one of you guys that are trying to fix your front end of your Chevy Trax. Like I say, if you have to do anything to the grill, the fog lights, the emblem on the front, just take the bumper off and work with it that way, because you will break tabs and everything trying to pull those things off the front of the car without taking the bumper off. Well, I hope this helped. Have a great day. Enjoy. Please subscribe.